Peace, infinite waters diving deep once again. Here we are in nature. How not to be perfect? Are you a perfectionist? It's never enough. Even if I gave you the whole world, you will never be satisfied. Perfection is great because it helps us to strive for the best. It helps us to aim higher and to tap into our infinite potential. However, many people who are perfectionists to the extreme, it can actually hinder them, which is the irony in the long run. So we have to have that balance of healthy perfectionism. Perfectionism can be a curse if we're not careful. Perfectionism can drive us crazy and up the wall. It can leave many of us pulling out our hair, and it can turn into a great obsession. I'm a self-confessed perfectionist. I was. Nowadays, I let everything flow because I realize being carefree is being stress-free. A plane just flew above me. I should have stopped the video to re-record, but forget about it because we're not going to be a perfectionist today. No. Some signs you may be a perfectionist. You're spending hours and hours on a project and it's not complete. And you keep spending more time and more time and more time, and it's draining your energy. And another sign, you're not satisfied. Never satisfied. It doesn't matter how much time you spend on a project. And as well, a lot of perfectionists, they always want to put additional things into whatever they're doing. And they overclutter things. And a lot of this can drive us bonkers in the process because we feel no matter how hard we try, it's just not good enough. What I've found on my journey is that there are 5 ways how not to be perfect. Perfect coming from the Latin perfectus, meaning complete. So, number 1, let go of expectations. Remember, you can't please everyone. Most of our actions emanate from the desire to please other people instead of doing it from our heart. We're striving to be liked by everyone, to be loved by everyone, to be accepted by everyone. You have to accept yourself 100%. You have to love yourself 100%. And that is how not to be perfect. And you will feel so much more freer, lighter, happier overall. How you do something is far more important than what you do. How do you feel when you are doing something? Are you stressed? Are you anxious? Are you in love with what you're doing? That is how not to be perfect. The secret is enjoying the process as opposed to the destination. Because we find our true power within the moment instead of the future. Most of us are projecting into the future. We want to please people. We want to live up to their value system. And therefore, we will never be satisfied because we can never please the entire world. If you can, show me the secret. We have to please ourselves. We have to love ourselves because everything is based on how we see the world. That is the only thing that matters. The perception we have of ourselves is greater than the perception other people have of us. Let go. Stop being perfect because everything is perfect. That's the great paradox right there. Remember, it's okay to be weird, to be bizarre, to be eccentric. This is how not to be perfect. Weird people have more fun. Whenever you are trying to fit in when you are attempting to be perfect all the time, you take the fun out of life. Weird people, we are all weird. Once you see this, and you see that nobody is seeing reality in the same way, that allows you to not be perfect and embrace who you are 100%, to see that you are having a unique experience. Everyone came here for a different life purpose, for a different journey. So we have to embrace our journey and start smiling once again. Number 2, this is a big one. We have to remember that mistakes help us grow. Many people who are so in their minds, I have to be perfect at everything I do, don't want to make any mistakes, forgetting that it's our mistakes which help us grow and help us evolve to a higher level. Number 3, less is more. This is how not to be perfect. See, a lot of times when we're doing things, we feel adding things will help us. Instead, when we take things out of certain things we're doing, we see everything is fine. When we're not attempting always to fill in the space all the time, when we're not always trying to think too hard, when we let everything flow, it's all about tapping into our infinite flow. And less is more. You feel it opens you up when you can just see, if it's not required, if it's not necessary, forget about it. We don't have to give ourselves a headache, because relaxation is what we are, stress is what we think we should be. Number 4, set yourself a time limit. Myself being a graphic designer, as well as a psychologist and a VFX artist, whenever I'm in After Effects or Photoshop, I'm spending hours and hours on something. This was years ago. And I realized I'm going crazy. So a great way I found how not to be perfect is, if I'm doing a project for any client, I'm only going to spend a certain amount of time on it. I'm going to give myself a 1-hour deadline. And if I don't finish it, too bad. And when you do that, you can actually realize that what you think is not perfect, in essence, is perfect. That's the great paradox. Everything is perfect. We have to allow ourselves the expression of freedom. This is where we see that everything is beautiful the way it is. Yes, perfection helps us excel to a greater degree. We have to embrace it, but we have to know where to draw the line. Number 5, how not to be perfect. Okay, observe nature. That is the secret of how not to be perfect. Nature is effortless. Everything in nature moves in ebb and flow. Nature is resourceful. In essence, nature is the grand alchemist, and it shows us more and more how not to be perfect every single day, because nature always takes a shortcut. If you've ever seen a waterfall or how water flows down a river, it's effortless. Therefore, it uses the smallest amount of energy possible. Nature does not waste anything. So a lot of us, when we are striving for perfection, we have to ask ourselves, what are the trade-offs? How much energy am I using to achieve this desired outcome? Is it worth it in the long run? Because when we talk about how not to be perfect, we have to see, most of us, we spend all our energy on something when in essence we can actually separate our energy by doing different things. Instead of spending 5 hours on something, you can half it and spend your time on something else. Go to the beach, go for a dance, have free time. It's beautiful to push ourselves to the limits because we are infinite beings. Anything is possible. But we have to ask ourselves, why are we doing what we are doing? How will this impact my life? More so, how will it impact someone else's life? That is how not to be perfect. Because many of the things we wrap our minds in doing, what becomes of them? I remember doing projects, silly things, and it was a waste of time. And some things which I didn't spend a lot of time but I had a lot of passion for, that impacted more people and it helped me grow. So when we talk of how not to be perfect, we have to see that spending a lot of time on something does not necessarily mean it will be better. No. Remember to have fun on this life experience. You don't have to be perfect. Accept yourself. Doesn't matter what your body is like. Once you love yourself and realize that we have to get back into divine alignment, we have to know thyself, we have to love ourselves, and we have to not take ourselves so seriously, because that's why so many of us, we become perfectionists, because we always are judging ourselves instead of tapping into the flow. The irony of perfectionism to the extreme is that it prevents us from being our best, because we're always worried about the outcome instead of letting go and enjoying the moment. How not to be perfect. Do not procrastinate. Many of us who are caught up in procrastination, we're always waiting for the perfect moment. And guess what? It never comes. I found this on my journey. Every moment is perfect because in essence there is only now. Let go. Embrace what you think are your flaws. Many people say, I don't look good enough. They're not happy about their appearance. When you say that to yourself, you will never be satisfied. When you say, the source of life, the creator, whatever you believe in, created me in a beautiful way, you begin to let go of perfection. You see that the images you're being shown on TV, are they really a true representation of beauty? Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everything is based on interpretation. Nobody is seeing things in the same way. And that goes back to when we see how you can't please everyone. No two people are seeing things in the same way. Therefore, if you create something and someone doesn't like it, I guarantee you someone else will love it. Because that's how it goes in the universe. Some people hate it, some people love it. Let go. Have a dance around. Let go of fear. That is how not to be perfect. Fear is false evidence appearing real. To not be perfect, you need balls of steel. If you're a man, if you're a woman, you also need balls of steel. You have to go for it. Become fearless. That is how to not be perfect. It does not matter what other people think. There is nothing wrong with striving for perfection, because in this action, in this moment, we can actually reach a higher level. However, when it takes over our lives, it can become a problem. In essence, it can actually stunt our growth and development. We're out here not being perfect, just enjoying the moment is beautiful. Breathe, let go, forget perfection, throw it out of the window. Because whatever we do is perfect. Nature is perfect. Our flaws are perfect. Stay being the best you can be by letting go, by surrendering to your authenticity. Enjoy life. Live in the moment, because there is only now. Do it now. Go for it. That moment you're dreaming of may not come. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.